The inquest, extremely commonly asked in your exam. What is inquest? Inquest is a legal inquiry into the cause of death. It is the legal inquiry into the cause of death. Inquest is basically of how many types? It is of four types. Police inquest, then magistrate inquest, coroner's inquest, and medical examiner system. Medical examiner system. Please remember, these two are not done in India. Medical examiner system was never done in India. Coroner system was done many years back, but now it is not done. So I will just give a small thing about coroners and medical examiner. Coroner's inquest system is more commonly done in UK. Medical examiner system is more commonly done in USA. In coroner's inquest system, who does the inquest? It is done by a judicial officer, like a judge. Coroner's inquest system is done by a judicial inquest system, like a judicial officer, special judicial. So magistrate inquest is also a judicial officer, but in coroner's inquest it's a special judicial officer. Okay, so that, or it can be a lawyer. So that thing is not done in India. It is done basically in UK. Medical examiner system is done by the doctor. It is done in USA. So coroners and medical examiner system are not done in India. If somebody asks which is the best system of inquest, the best will be medical examiner system. Doctors are the best. Easy to remember. So doctors is the highly qualified, so that will be the best. Now coming to police inquest and magistrate inquest. Police inquest is done under which section? 174 CRPC. Magistrate inquest is done under the section 176 CRPC. Which is the most common inquest? One, police inquest is the most common. Magistrate inquest is done only in few conditions. Okay. Now, please remember that police inquest, what is the minimum rank of the police officer? So this question I will tell. What is the minimum rank? The minimum rank of the police officer who can conduct the inquest, very commonly asked, is head constable. Clear? So 174 and 176 CRPC. 174 for police inquest, 176 for magistrate inquest. Police inquest is most common. Magistrates are very few. Obviously, police is large in number, easy to remember. Minimum rank has to be head constable. Please remember, in between there is one more section, 175 CRPC. 175 CRPC is the power of, so I will write in next page. So 174, 176 are for the inquest. 175 CRPC is the power of investigating officer, that is the police officer, to summon somebody in regards to inquest. In regards to inquest. So suppose a police officer is conducting inquest and he thinks that somebody has to be called into the police station to interrogate, he can summon that person. This is the power of investigating officer. So 174 is the most common police inquest. So somebody suppose ask you that can constable conduct a police inquest? Answer is no. Constable is the junior most. Please remember, constable is the junior most. After constable, we have head constable. Then we have assistant sub-inspector. Then we have sub-inspector. Then we have inspector. So anything above the head constable can conduct the inquest, but constable cannot conduct the inquest. Now, coming to 176, that is the magistrate inquest. A magistrate inquest is basically done in three conditions. One is dowry death. Dowry, what is dowry death? Death of a woman, death of a woman within 7 years of marriage, and that death was unnatural. If an unnatural death of a woman occurs within 7 years of marriage and there is some relation to dowry, there is some allegation related to dowry, that will be called dowry death. Second thing is exhumation. Exhumation is digging out of buried bodies. Digging out of buried bodies. Third condition where the magistrate inquest is done is custodial death. Custodial death means any death, any custody, any condition where the person is in legal custody of state. Custody of state. And the person is in custody of state. Example, police custody. Suppose the police has catched some criminal accused. The accused is not yet convicted, but he has just brought him into the custody for interrogation and he dies in the custody. That would be called custodial death. Now, the second thing is, suppose the person is convicted and now he is into jail. He dies into the jail. That is also custodial death. Then death in a rehabilitation school, rehabilitation institution. Death in a psychiatric hospital. Suppose when I say psychiatric hospital, I basically imply suppose there was a criminal or accused and he has been detained into the psychiatric hospital because of his insanity and he dies in the psychiatric hospital. Okay, that is also kind of custodial death. So I'm not saying any death in psychiatric hospital is a custodial death. But suppose a accused person says that he is mentally ill and he is being admitted to psychiatric hospital and he dies over there, that will be considered as a custodial death. Now, what's the difference between these two, 1, 2 and versus 3? The 1 and 2 are conducted by executive magistrate. This topic is very important. Where a custodial death is done by judicial magistrate. Okay, so executive death, magistrate, dowry death and exhumation, judicial magistrate, custodial death. Very easy to remember, judicial, custodial. So this remembering is easy, judicial, custodial. Now I will tell you the difference between executive and judicial magistrates. Executive magistrate, judicial magistrate. Executive magistrate are simply the administrative magistrate. So judicial magistrates are actually the true magistrates, I will say, who sit in the court and give punishments. Executive magistrates don't sit in the court. They don't usually give any punishments, usually. Whereas judicial magistrates, they sit in the court, they give punishments. Who is an executive magistrate? Higher rank government officers. For example, higher rank government officers, for example, subdivisional magistrate, tehsildar, collector, then district magistrate. These are all executive magistrates. Whereas judicial magistrates are those like first class, second class, Sessions Court, okay, Chief Judicial Magistrate. Those are all judicial magistrates. Why custodial deaths are done by judicial magistrate? Because see, custodial death is a most sensitive death. So here you like to have a more senior person to investigate. So if I have to, so there are three kinds of inquest. The most senior is judicial, please remember, then executive magistrate, and after that police. So remember this. The most important is judicial, then executive, third is police magistrate.